on this little live stream, and you're in my studio. It is a nice Tuesday. Let's have a little therapeutic session. What we're going to be doing today is I've got an event coming up which is in the countryside in some woodland. It's like a wood festival, and I've researched and looked back at sales from a few years ago, and pheasants are one of my best sellers. And it's because there's lots of pheasants round and about in the area where I'm going, and I sell my art at different events. You can see one or two of my other artworks just here. So I thought I'd just spend a few moments just finishing these pheasants, and I've done all the painting of those pheasants yesterday, and the plan is today I'm going to be using my pyrography tool and just gently burning the paint away on the different pieces of wood, and by the end of this little live stream I'm going to have 5 pheasants all ready to go for the event. So right, let me go and show you the pyrography tool first. And here we go. So I'm just going to get this like that. And as you can see, they're all done with spray can, something similar to that. Let me go and fire this up. Now this is the pyrography tool that I use. You can just buy them. I bought this on Amazon a few years ago, and it's got a temperature gauge on there, so you can go kind of up and down with the temperature. And I don't want to burn too much, so what I tend to do is put it on around sort of 400, so it just takes the sort of surface paint off. And then I also add onto the artwork as well, just with a little white paint pen, something similar to this as well, just to get a few of the details going. So right, without further ado, let me just show you how it's done. And you'll see just some of the line work just appearing as I trace around this, and it just gives it a really nice painterly feel. Now pheasants, not native here to in the UK, in England, but we do have a sport where there's lots of them put to ground, so we see them a lot round and about. I'm not going to say on this live stream what happens to them on occasion, but the pheasant is a well-loved bird here in the UK as a result. And there's nothing quite like, you can just see when I'm just burning the paint away, gradually. Let's see if I can get this. Let me get right in with this camera. That's going to be even better. Let's go and get this like that. And you can really see what's going on. That's a better angle. Perfect. Right, so you can just see it's being scored. And I don't know if you can just see the smoke just coming off where I'm taking that paint away. And I'm going to give an indication of the wing just here within all these colours. And this is part of the wing tucked under here with a more of a grey sort of effect. That's looking good. I'm not actually happy with these feet. I'm going to have to do something about those. I might have to white them out at the end with a different template. We're going to see if I've got that available just down here. Sometimes with spray paints, what you can do is you just spray away. I'll probably do that after the live stream actually. But yeah, that back leg's a bit chunky, so we're going to have to do something about that. Will that work? Yeah, just sort of burn it back a little bit. Take some of that grey away. That's a bit better. And then just here, indication of the feet area just there. Take that off as well. And here I'm just doing this feathering effect like that. Just take that back as well, and you can see how that's come together. Now if you're watching right now, do look me up, look at my other videos. I do fun things on the internet. I'm always trying to look at quirky ways of using spray paints and wood with everything that I do. And I do tutorials, so if you're into spray painting, if you're into street art, that type of thing, I do paint festivals also. Then this is the channel for you. So do give me hit subscribe, like this content, make a comment, feel free to do that. It's a bit of an interactive experience here. But welcome to my studio if you've just joined. My name is Sid, and this is my, I'm going to just flick up and just show you a little bit of the rest of the studio. These are what I'm making right now, these pheasants. We've got the dog down there half asleep. I'm a professional artist based here in the UK. Do like the live, make any comments you want to do, and I'll do my best to respond to those during the little live feed. I'm going to put a little black dot just there on his beak as well. That's come together nicely. This will all need to be signed, but I can probably do that towards the end of the live stream as well. Let me just go and see if I can start a poll. Ask a question. Right, okay. I'll take that back. Just fiddling with some of the settings on this. See if I can, oh no, don't do that. How do I get the supers going then? Right, okay, so that's the first layer done on this pheasant. I'm going to just take that away and just put the next one in, ready to go. And what I'm using here is a pyrography tool. The pyrography tool here, it goes up to around 400 degrees. So it's just got a sensor here, and you just move that backwards and forwards, and that's just will bring the temperature. And I don't want it too hot. So this is connected to that tool, and here, what I'm going to do is you just apply this to the wood, and I've spray painted this particular bird onto the wood, and then just very lightly I'm going to be taking away, and you can just see some of the markings coming like that, and it's where I'm burning it back to the wood. This is going to be quite a good example. So you see just here, I'm just taking that back like that. This is my own sort of art form that I developed over the years, and it's a mixture of spray paints, wood, stencils, creativity, nature, all sort of morphed into one. And you might want to hit me a subscribe, make a comment, anything you want to learn about art, being an artist, spray paints. This is the channel for you. And I hope you can join me on my YouTube journey. I've been a creator on here for 17 years, but really just started putting the effort back into YouTube in the last year, which has been quite exciting to do. What I've found is all the tools for editing, etc. videos have got a lot easier to use, so it's freed up a lot of time to be able to do these sorts of live streams here. And what I'm just doing here is I'm just adding some sort of feathering technique just at the back of the tail. They've got really long tails, pheasants, to balance them out. They're actually quite a big bird as such. They're quite good flyers as well, but you wouldn't think that to look at them when they're kind of stout on the floor, kind of waddling around the woodland here in the UK. They're not native to the UK, but we do have a lot of them. It's a sort of sport over the winter, which I won't go into. But if you're based in the countryside, you're going to be seeing a lot of pheasants around and about, which is why they're so popular when I go and do my events and sell these particular artworks like that. So that's that one done there. I'm just going to go and show you quickly my sort of workbench down here. This is me, by the way. My name's Sid. How you doing? And this is my studio where some magic happens some of the time. Did you come and see maybe my spray paint monstrosity here? This is where I kind of spray and test my cans, and over time it's created this sort of massive paint. I've had a few viral videos go through with that. I'm a street artist, graffiti artist, spray paint artist. You can see some of my old examples of my work up here. R2D2 is a spray can, really old sort of pieces. I've been going back for sort of 15, 16 years for some of these, just when I started going. These are some of the other artworks that I do. And as you can see, my specialisation is using wood as my canvas. So with different pieces of wood, I spray layers of colour, varnish all the wood, and then use this pyrography. There we are. He's jumping at me now, that squirrel. Use pyrography to get a lot of the details. I'm particularly pleased with that little squirrel. And what I'm making today, if I can get that back on the wall while holding the camera, sometimes tricky. There we go, he's on. is these little pheasants. So let me go and show you a little bit of the pyrography that I need to do that. I'm going to move this back over here, and we're going to move a fresh one in front of it. I've got one here at the top of the screen, which is my sort of example. Let me go and use that. And then this is the tool where I'm just going to be burning the line work into that particular pheasant. So do make me a comment. If you'd like this live, it'd be fantastic if you could do that. I've only just set the camera going, and gradually I'm making these beautiful pheasants. Yesterday I spent most of the day doing the spray work on these, and during these live streams I like to do some of the hand finishing. And as you can see, the line just going on there, this isn't a pencil or pen, it's actually burning the paint away gradually and giving the indications of shape there within the wings, just like that. And this is a beautiful pheasant. We do see a lot of these in the sort of winter time, and here in the UK we're just getting closer to winter, and I'm hoping this is going to be a nice successful seller, an event that will come in up next weekend. I'm just going to do the head just like that, and you can just see it just taking round over and under, adding that sort of white line just to give a little bit of finesse to this piece over the hood there of the pheasant, just where it's just tucking into the background, and he's coming together nicely, and a little dot there for the beak as well, like that. Now the last part of this is the tail. The pheasants have got quite a long tail, and what I do is I just give them more of a random effect there, just where the feathering is on this elongated tail, which does actually help them navigate the woodland and the forest. So it's important to get that tail. Beautiful feathering just there. And this is a mixture of reds and oranges that I've hand spray painted onto the pieces of wood. So that's very pleasing to the eye. I'm liking that as well. Like that, and then that. Fantastic. Yeah, he's looking good. And you can see the top one there. And I'm just going to place another one out. This is pheasant number 4, just on your screens. This is on a beautiful piece of elm wood. Now the elm is a wood that I get from Scotland. Now this is the studio you just joined me at as well, so you can just have a little scan around here. My name is Sid from the Stencil Shed. Needs a bit of a tidy up at the moment, but there's a life-size Jaws from the Bond films. I've got a giant Groot up there. We've got David Attenborough. We've got an enormous parrot. And this is a space that I use for kind of storage. This is a lot of the wood that I'm going to be using to be making my different artworks. And there's the dog asleep down the bottom. And here we've got this run of pheasants, which I'm just hand finishing during this live stream. I clip you back on there. And this is the pyrography tool. I've got this tool now up to about 400 degrees centigrade. And I'm going to get this burner and just add that on there. Do let me know where in the world you're watching from. I'm always fascinated to know where the visitors come from at this time of day. A lot of people here in the UK are at work currently. This is quite a good just line to add just to there. And this is an indication of the wing just sort of tucked under the base of the bird like that. So I've got a kind of prescriptive way. I know where I'm going to be putting the markings, but each bird's different. So I'll vary them every time slightly. And with spray painting as well, you only get control of probably, I always say, about 85% of what you want, and the rest of it is pretty random. And that is really the artwork as such, is the art form even, is the randomness of spray paints onto wood. I also do these live streams. I do some live physical spray painting. Street art festival the other week, I spray painted a giant tree frog, which is great fun. So do check out some of my other old live streams. Do give me a nice subscribe as well, which appreciate if you could do that. And you'll be following someone who is into spray paints, into his artwork. If you want to learn about how to be an artist, fun things you can do while being an artist, and want to learn about stenciling and spray paints, then you've come to the right channel just there. Fantastic. Let's have a like of the live. Anyone out there, just hit like on this live. Just let me know you're not an AI robot. That'd be fantastic. See if we can have a couple of likes coming through on that thumb. Hit me up, give me a like, and thanks for joining this little mini live stream. Did you drop in off maybe one of my viral videos that are going through at the moment? My defrost graffiti, my old man's elephant's foot spray paint monstrosity, the ball bag maybe. If so, you've come to the right channel if you want to have a bit of fun and watched some quirky artworks being handmade onto these beautiful pieces of wood. Fantastic. Right, okay. Let's just do that. I'm just concentrating now on getting this scraggy. This is actually burning the paint away, just gradually onto the wood. I did a bit of blending here on the pheasant with the oranges and reds this morning, just to make it look less like a sort of stenciled artwork and more like a painting onto the wood. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 in total. This will be the last one I'm going to just do with this little run. If you just joined me, welcome. My name is Sid. This is my studio. We've got the dog asleep. Let's have a few likes for Holly. I'm going to give her a little stroke. Let's have a light come through. She's all right. She's fine. She's a 15 years old spaniel. Well, we've got 15 watchers on this live, which is fantastic. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. This is my studio. These are all my paints all together. As you can see, all my artwork is made with spray paints and onto beautiful pieces of wood like this. Here's some wood that I've prepared, and what I'll do is I'll chop that all up and fit that onto different pieces of wood. And here you can see a range of my different artworks that are available and that I've made here. I mean, look at that. How fantastic is that? Like, you can almost grab him like that. Three-dimensional butterfly there on wood. Right, let's just move back to the pheasant, just like that. And I'm just going to clip down here. We've got at the top here, we've got the example of what I'm going to be burning like, and this is one that I haven't burned just yet. So let's get the pyrography tool out just here. And I'm just going to be adding to, first of all, the hood, and I'm just going to burn back just like that, where the light's just catching the markings on the top, and then a little bit on the beak, a little dot just there, just crisping off the edge. There's a bit of a fuzziness on the top, so I'm just going to take that back as well, and then gradually move that round the cap of the bird, and coming together nicely like that. Fantastic. And then this is as an example, so this is about 400 degrees centigrade, this hot burner. You can just see it there like that, and I'm burning back to this creamy colour. And a good example is where I'm just going to be forming this wing right now, and the way that I do that, I just follow this line down like that above the dark, and then an indication of it being folded under by taking it back like that. So you can just sort of see these little small marks just are indications that make the eye see the wings and the colouring, rather than it just being a collection of colours on the side just there. Now all of a sudden you've got the wing tucked under, a sub wing just there with different coloration on the back, and we're just going to work a little bit more on these feet as well, something like that. Pushing down a little bit harder there, just so you can get that texture underneath, like that. Now after this, I've got to do a couple of bits of spray painting. I'm going to do the my naming, which is stencil shed. Do give me a follow and a subscribe right now if you want to learn more a little bit about spray painting, stenciling, how to have fun while being an artist. That's what my sort of brand is all about. And occasionally I like to do these little pyrography sort of live streams, and he's coming together nicely actually, isn't he? Let me know where in the world you're from. That'd be great. In the comments just now, let's have a few likes coming through as well. That would be also much appreciated. Right, so he's come together nicely like that. And right, I'm just going to hold this up here like that. You can just see a little bit. I'm going to be using this stencil, and this particular stencil here, I've just cut a very fine stencil shed on the top edge, and what I want to be doing is spray painting stencil shed onto that edge, because that is my little brand essentially. I'm going to be using this colour here, which is a dark anthracite grey, and I just spray that onto the old man's ball bag just to check the flow, and then should I just hold that there, I'm just checking you can see what's going on like that. And then just one blast like that, and we've got a stencil shed just subtly gone onto that. I'm going to show you how that's done again, just with this particular artwork. This is on ash wood. Let's go and do the label up this top edge like that. And you just get the positioning going on. And I'm going to hold that like that, spray it on. Really, you want to do it in one continuous flow. And there we go. We've got a nice stencil shed on the top edge of that particular bird just there. And then we're going to do the next one. Just like that. The actual burning and the pyrography of this pheasant I just did earlier in the live stream. Do give me a subscribe. I'll do these regular streams from the studio where I'm showing you different techniques for spray painting. There we go, got the stencil shed on there as well. We're going to move that guy out of the way and grab this one. And then I'm getting in the flow of things now. I'm just trying to make sure that you guys can see what I'm doing as well as doing the actual stuff. Just gone back twice on there. We've got a nice stencil shed there, like that. And then finally on this elm one. Now you can see here, just there's a different coloration. The woods are darker toned. So we're going to just move that across and make sure that the logo is sprayed on the lighter wood just towards the right-hand side. Just something like that. I'm going to make sure that's nice and central. There we go. There we are, nice stencil shed on there, like that. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pheasants all done. Let me just see if I've got the stencil for the back end. This is me, by the way. My name's Sid. Thanks for joining me. Thanks to all my subscribers that drop into these little live feeds now and again. Let me know where in the world you are, what you've been up to today. One little side effect of doing these live streams, which I love, is that it makes me focused. So I really do get on with it as well. I'm like the rest of you guys. When I'm working, I kind of get distracted with this, that, and the other when I'm doing this. So yeah, it is nice just to focus on getting that pheasant sorted. I'm just looking for the tag that goes on the back, which is another stencil, which is called Burley Pheasant. Let me go and see if I can dig that out. Just from down here in the little box down there like that. There, pair. Right, okay. Let's go and do a little bit of signing, shall we? That's the next. The last part, I'm really happy with these. And then it's time to sign them. And the way that I do that is not with a conventional pen. I've got a technique that I use, which I've kind of developed over the last 10 years, where I use a little metal tool. And what I do is I get the spray can like that and then spray it onto this piece of white clear acetate. And now this is like a plastic, and the reason I use plastic is so that it sits on the surface and doesn't sort of get absorbed into like the paper. And then I've got a tool down here, and we're going to just point this down here like that. And then I use this, and then I use this tool, and then it's just a way of applying the actual spray paint onto the wood. My name is Sid, so let's sign it with a little Sid in that corner. How many times have I done this over the years? And I'm just going to hold it up. There we go. There's a nice little Sid just there. I'm going to move this. Usually I would just work down the line, but with here, so you can see what I'm doing exactly. Dip into the white paint. Look at you guys watching a guy painting pieces of wood. So you guys are actually watching paint dry on the internet. So bully for you. What a fun way to spend the day, isn't it? Yeah, there we go. There's a nice Sid on there. This is going to dry back gradually, just over the next sort of 20 minutes, I'd say. I'm going to put the last one on here. No, I've got 3 more to go. This one you'll be able to see a little bit better going on because it's on the darker elm colour as well. So we've got a nice little Sid just going on there. And I don't think anyone could fake this signature in the future, because I do it in a very certain pattern where you get thin pieces of sign. I always do the dot on there as well. And then we're just going to go back to an ash one. Nice little pheasant just here. I'm going to get this nice and central in the screen for you. And then just with this is, I'm going to go and freshen this paint up. I just spray the paint onto there, use this little tool, this little metal tool, and then I'm gradually lumping the paint on to the wood. And I actually put it on quite thick as well. Something like that. Fantastic. And then we're just going to go and grab another one. Put that on there. I love just doing these little one-off live streams here on my channel. A little bit of slightly bigger signature as it's a wider piece of wood. Fantastic. That's looking good. I'm happy with that. So now we got this pheasant was the one that I had, which I used an example. And then during the live stream, I've just been finishing these guys off, doing the pyrography, and now the signature on the front. We've got the logo on the back. And you can see gradually, they look fairly similar, but because every cut of wood's different, you can see the real uniqueness just there. Even the dog agrees, and so does life-size Jaws over there as well. So thanks for joining me, and I'll see you on the next